The last few Pokemon games have obviously all been open world style games. We look at Scarlet and Violet, Legends Arceus, and even Pokemon Legends EA are all open world in some form. Clearly, this is where Game Freak wants to take the style of Pokemon games going into the future. So of course, that's not going to change for Gen 10. Pokemon Generation 10 is going to be a fully open world game. So we have a pretty cool brand new leak today talking about the way that the Pokemon Generation 10 world is going to be. So I'm going to tell you guys everything that's just leaked in this video, but I just want to say quick before we get into it, I'm trying to reach 20,000 subscribers on the channel. By subscribing, you guys won't miss any of the latest Pokemon news or leaks because I'm going to be covering all of them on my channel. So I extremely appreciate you if you decide to subscribe. So the leak we have here is from Central Leaks, and he says that with Pokemon Gen 10 being again open world and focused on ocean exploring, what do you want to see them do differently this time? So I want to talk about a few different parts of this post right here, but first of all, I want to talk about the open world aspect of it, and especially with the ocean exploring part, because the last time we had a super like water centric Pokemon game in Hoenn, obviously there was a lot of different islands and stuff that we could go to, but of course Hoenn wasn't open world. So I think that an open world game that's mainly water centric, there's a lot of cool things that they can do with this, and there's a lot of ideas that I have for different ways that we can kind of travel around, because you know, I'm sure we're not just going to be like swimming around, you know what I mean? So first of all, I think it'd be sick if we got to do something similar with Pokemon Sun and Moon for like, you know, shorter distances maybe for traveling, or we could ride around on Lapras. But I think it'd be cool if they kind of expanded this, and if we're going far distances and we want to move faster, kind of like how in Pokemon Legends Arceus there's a few different Pokemon we could ride on, like Basculegion for the water and Braviary if we wanted to fly up in the air, and then Wordeer if we were like running on land. But obviously if Gen 10 is going to be fully water centric, then there's going to be a lot of different water types that we get to ride on. So yeah, like I said, it'd be cool if they brought back the way that we rode Lapras in Sun and Moon, as well as riding Sharpedo if we want to go faster if we're traveling a far distance. I also think it'd be pretty cool if they could incorporate something where like in Scarlet and Violet, obviously throughout the whole game we can ride on Miraidon or Koraidon, but I think it'd be pretty cool if they could somehow incorporate the starters into that mechanic this time instead, because I didn't like how we just got access to the legendary Pokemon so early on in the game. So if the starters could all have a different function, like the fire starter could walk on land, maybe the grass starter could be flying type as well, and we could fly around with it, and then obviously the water starter we could ride on in the water. I think that'd be pretty cool, and it would make a lot more sense. Let me know if you guys have any ideas for that down below. But I think the open world water exploring concept is super cool. Then another thing that was pretty interesting that Central Leak said is that the game's going to be on the same graphics engine as Scarlet and Violet. So that doesn't necessarily mean that the game's art style is going to look the same, but it's going to be running on the same engine, which, because we know that this game is definitely going to be a Switch 2 exclusive, then I think that's honestly good news, because if you guys look at the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet performance on Switch 2, the game looks extremely well optimized for the Switch 2. So I think that if they use the same engine and take it a step further, obviously, then I think honestly these will probably be some of the best performing and nicest looking Pokemon games we've ever gotten. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to see how these turn out. Let me know what you guys think about it down below if you're excited for Pokemon Gen 10. Also, like I mentioned at the start of the video, I'm trying to get to 20,000 subscribers on the channel, so if you guys don't mind helping me reach my goal, I extremely appreciate you. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.